Hey, good morning, Midland's Choice Realty. It's your broker in charge, Jonathan Howdeshell here with another short video. Want to say to everyone, hope you're all doing well. 2024 is moving forward. Let us know about the things you're working on in your business. Let us know how I can be of service, what I can do to help. Today I want to kind of talk a little bit about our company culture, talk about being a professional, talking about just really knowing your craft and some of the important things that come along with that. First, I want you to listen to this short video. I think it's relevant, and I think everyone could get a little something out of it. So here we go.
You can track failure, you can also track success. You have greatness in you. I don't know you, but here's what I know based upon my own experience. You have greatness in you, that you have the ability to do more than you could ever begin to imagine. You have greatness in you. There's a presence in each and every one of us that waits and listens to the voice of the genuine in yourself. It will be perhaps the only guide you will ever have or hear. And if you cannot hear it, all of your life will be spent on the ends of strings that somebody else pulls. When you recognize your greatness, no one will ever pull your strings. You are different. You were created on purpose, with a purpose, to manifest that purpose through you. You will never exercise authority and dominion over your life until you exercise authority and dominion over what you are not. Most people go through life living the lie that has been told about them. There's something in you that's greater than your circumstances. There's something in you that's greater than the adversities that you're facing. In life, you're either in a problem, just left one, or headed toward one. You have greatness in you.
All right, well, I'm ready for the day now. It's important to find motivation where you can. This can be a tough job. Some of us, it's a part-time job. Some of it's a full-time job. I find that, understanding what we are doing and what our goals are, how do we present ourselves, how do we do our job to the benefit of our clients. And I think professional courtesy is important. I think understanding your role in the process is so important. We're not here to get in the way. We are here to help manage the process. So that goes with, understanding our market, being the local market experts, as we are here at Midland's Choice Realty, and then having some strong work ethics. I'll never preach to you about your personal morals. I'll never try to change who you are, how you are in your own personal life. Professionally, I think it's important that you have strong work ethic and that you understand what being a professional real estate agent entails. So again, I'll kind of touch on some things. This is more about, getting our company culture kind of established, realizing that I think it's super important that we conduct ourselves very professionally, that we understand the contracts, understand the agency relationship, and understand that it's so important that we do our job and represent ourselves well in the market. So I can help with that. I feel like that's one of my strong suits, is always trying to reflect in my mind, hey, is this make sense? Is this covered in the contract language? Is it covered in our morals and ethics of the industry? And am I being helpful in this transaction? So a couple examples I'd like to give basically is ultimately we are trying to make great things happen, trying to facilitate the process, manage not only the written aspect of real estate, which is the most important, but you also are managing people's personalities, their emotions, You're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have folks in a variety of situations in life. Maybe they're relocating. Maybe they're first-time buyers. Maybe they're sellers who are sentimentally attached to their property. Maybe you have folks from a different part of the country with different attitudes. And so, we want to always manage that the best we can without getting in the way of the transaction. The way I've always done it is really, really ingrain in to my clients and myself, having great consultations, going through the contract language, going through the buyer's agency agreement, the LLR brochure, going through listing agreements, going through contracts of sales, going through property disclosures, talking about lenders, talking about the attorney process. And if you can go through each of those things, and project what to expect, right? Managing expectations, then you can avoid a lot of problems up front. Okay, so let's get into a little bit. I hope you're still with me. Let's talk about it. Okay, so I'm going to give a couple experiences, and there's so many. Each time you work on a deal, it seems like you learn something new things come up, or you're reminded of what you learned in the past. So again, managing the process is important, managing emotions. I had found myself working on a deal on a current listing, and as usual, I end up doing the work of the buyer's agent, and in this case, I'm the seller's agent or listing agent. So this is why I want you all to know it's so important that we do things right. Any little mistake from the buyer's agent can have rippling effects, can change the outcome of a deal. And a lot of it could just be as simply as filling out the forms correctly. I always will stress this, line by line, don't misspell, don't leave things out, check the right boxes, get all of the required initials, all the right signatures, review it before you send it. Now, we can all make mistakes, it does happen, but what we don't want to do is shortcut things because we're maybe not at our home office, not in front of the laptop, not able to have the right documents on hand. So you want to prepare yourself beforehand and then really review before you send things. Back when the market was hot, we would look at offers coming in for listings, and all the people who had typos, didn't fill out something correctly, didn't send all the required documents, all those went to the bottom of the pile, and the most professional, put together packet and agent who communicated properly, they go to the top. So when I was working on this particular deal, it's still, I guess it doesn't surprise me, but they left the name of the sellers off of the offer. He had gone through, everything else was pretty much in line. We were looking at doing a separate addendum or a separate bill of sale for some items in the home. Didn't see that come through. So now we're wondering, okay, what are the expectations that the buyers want at this contract sales price? So we spoke. I talked to my clients. I presented the offer, talked to the agent, felt him out a little bit to see where his buyers were kind of headed, see what advantage I could get by trying to get him to disclose information to me that maybe he shouldn't. You can always look out for the interests of your clients and ask questions. Now, some questions maybe shouldn't be answered, but use strategies, use some manipulation, not in a bad way, to feel out the other party and to, do your best job for your side of the deal. So anyway, we're going to have to counter offer this initial offer. We did counter offer. I never say, here's our counter offer, run it by your people. You may do some verbal, but you want to back it up in writing. I don't say, well, you present that verbally and let's work this out before we write anything down. In real estate, if it's not in writing, it doesn't mean anything. Now, there are instances where you do some verbal back and forth, but you always want to have your side of the documents prepared and ready for initials and signature. So we sent a counter offer back. So I'll try to get into this quickly. They sent us a offer. All the, earnest money had been addressed. Pre-approval had been addressed. Property disclosures had been addressed. A little bit of misspelling and typos or missing language in the contract. So I filled those in. We countered only the contract sales price. We accepted terms on home warranty. We accepted terms on the closing date, financing contingency, appraisal contingency. We accepted a small amount of transactional costs going to the buyers. And so I presented it, all the correct initials, seller side completely done, buyer's initial offer completely done, send it to them as a counter offer. This agent doesn't get back very quickly. I found there was kind of a lack of communication in a timely manner. It makes my clients wonder what's going on. So I have to kind of pester this person. Did you receive it? Are you going to be able to talk about it? When should we expect a reply? There are, of course, expiration dates on contracts. A lot of times when you're negotiating, you're not necessarily, as long as you're not past that expiration time of responding, you're not necessarily changing expiration times throughout the back and forth. But you want to do things quickly, timely, keep the other side aware of what's happening. So again, this kind of ties into doing our job correctly. As a buyer's agent, we want to always be on top of it. So this buyer's agent gets back to me like a day and a half later and says, yes, they're going to recounter, but I sent it over to you, but I forgot to change the contract sales price. They want a few more transactional costs to justify a higher price. And by the way, I didn't have time to rewrite on the counter, so I just resent the original contract, but changed the transactional fees that the seller's willing to pay. So now I'm receiving this counter to our counter, but it's wiped blank. Now I have to get all of the initials, all of the signatures again. I've got to go in and fill out information where the buyer's agent should have filled out. So now I'm doing their job. Well, to me, that's a red flag. I don't know, they're being lazy. I listened to what he said. I said, okay, so here's what you want me to do, kind of in a sarcastic manner. But again, I'm not trying to get in the way. And I said, oh, okay, I'll take care of it. What I'm really thinking is, boy, I hope you don't screw this up for us, because now the time clock is ticking. Now my sellers are getting impatient. Now they're looking at a contract that looks like the original contract, and we're re-signing everything. And an attorney, when this gets to an attorney or lender, they like to see the steps of negotiation. So we want to see our counter. We want to see their counter to our counter. We want to see all those things so we can follow the chain or the order that it fell in. Okay, long story short, that was a big mistake, because now we're wasting a whole day. Well, what if these buyers decide, you know what, we're changing our mind? Well, all we needed was one initial from my client side. Now we're reinitialing the entire thing, sending it back for another initial from them. This might be hard to follow, but when you do real estate a lot, you'll see this quite often. And it's a waste of time, and it could have been completely avoided if this buyer agent would have just loaded up the counter offer into their dot loop and just got one initial from their side of the deal. So, my client got frustrated, and he said to me, actually, well, Jonathan, maybe we just won't sell the house. And I'm thinking, oh, no. It was a $2,500 difference, but because it took a day and some change to get this back and forth, they were getting impatient, thought that the buyers were playing a game. I managed their emotions. I managed them and said, well, listen, I will do whatever you want to do. I support all your decisions, but let's talk about this. Let's think about what the goal is. Hey, this should be a great time. We're getting an offer. Yes, we're coming down another $2,500, but this property is $460,000. So it's not that large of a percentage. I showed them, talked them about continuing to market, mortgage payments coming up, electric bills, so on and so forth. I said, let me be the voice of reason. Again, we can pull this, we can get rid of these folks, or we can try to come to terms. My best advice is let's try to come to terms. So we ended up working it out. There was more to the conversation, but basically it probably could have been avoided, the anxiety and whatnot, if this buyer's agent would have done things quickly and not had us refilling out an entire contract of sale. So the big mistake, I want everyone on our team to always present their offers professionally, diligently, and get things done properly. I think that should be our culture, professional courtesy, an eye of detail. And when you have these things come up, please call me, please email me, text me, let me know you need some help. Let's review contracts together. Let's review offers. Let's talk about strategy, and let's be a step ahead in everything we're doing. Let's be the best we can be. That's what I try to do. That's what I would encourage everyone to do. This is running on a little bit long, but get some motivation, find some motivation for yourself. Take care of your personal health. Your mental health is so important. Find something to do that empowers you and lifts you up. And I'm here to support you if needed. Our team's here to support you. Good luck. Let me know how things are going. Let's talk about business. Let us know what you've got coming up. Take care of yourselves. Thanks, Team Midlands Choice Realty. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Stay warm. See you next time.